Hi, today I'm making a pumpkin streusel coffee cake. This is a really great recipe and perfect for fall. You're going to begin with a box of vanilla cake mix, 1 can of pumpkin, either puree or canned pumpkin. You don't want it to be a pumpkin pie mix. You want it to be either canned pumpkin or pumpkin puree. We're going to do 3 eggs, a half a cup of butter, pecans, brown sugar, flour. It's going to be a great recipe. Now, one thing that I do when I'm adding pecans to the recipe is that any recipe, I tend to toast the pecans. It actually gives the pecans an incredible flavor. So even though this particular recipe doesn't call for that, I do it anyway. So I toast the pecans at about 350 degrees for 10 minutes. While they're toasting, I'm going to go ahead and make my streusel. So I'm taking a half a cup of cold butter. I've cut them into small cubes. And I'm also using 3/4 cups of packed brown sugar, as well as a half a cup of flour. And I'm also using 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Now I'm using my pastry blender to just kind of combine the ingredients. You can use your fingers too, but this is what I did. And then I'm going to go ahead and set that streusel aside, right? I had to make sure I say streusel, not strudel. Next, I'm going to take 1 box of super moist cake mix. So I'm using vanilla. And the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of softened butter. I went ahead and melted the butter. I think either way is fine. And I'm going to combine that with 3 large room temperature eggs. Now, I added the eggs one at a time, like I do with a pound cake, and just could mix that. And I hand mixed this coffee cake. You could have easily used a mixer for this recipe. I just did it by hand. Next, I'm adding my 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. And again, it was very simple. I just added it to the batter. And I also added 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and mixed everything really well until it had this very light, soft orange spice color, right? I'm adding a half a cup of toasted pecans. So I've chopped up some of the pecans for the recipe to go inside the coffee cake, and then I'm actually going to sprinkle some on the top later. I have also got my Baker's Joy because I'm going to spray my 9 by 13 Pyrex dish really well. And then I'm going to transfer this thickened batter to the dish, right? You can see it's kind of coming out in clumps here. So we're going to go ahead and just spread the batter evenly across the Pyrex dish. And I'm going to return to my streusel. I keep wanting to say strudel. I don't know why, but my streusel. And I'm going to go ahead and just pour that across the top, and make sure that it's completely covered. Put a few finishing touches here. And then I'm adding the rest of the crushed pecans to the top, and we're going to transfer it into an oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. You're going to do a toothpick test with this cake because you just want to make sure the toothpick comes out smooth. And once it comes out, it's done. When I tell you that the entire kitchen smells like fall, it is so tasty and it's such a great recipe. I highly recommend this one.